the meeting that took place in Alaska, Trump, Putin come together for the first time. They both had to travel. When Putin lands, Trump, the walk up, Rob, if you can do me a favor and pull up the clip of Trump walks out first, stands waiting for Putin to come, showing authority. He's up there. And then when Putin walks up, all the body language expert YouTubers lose their mind because this is what you want to see. The first handshake between the two when Putin walks up to shake the president's hand. And as he's doing that and they're walking up, Rob, I don't know if you can find it or not, Rob. Just go to X if you're having a hard time finding it. It's the most popular clip out of all of them.
So, most gangster.
Trump, Putin, handshake. They walk up, not this one.
With the B-52 bombers
right
you're
there,
talking
Rob,
about?
You can watch this one here. So he's chilling, he's waiting.
All right, here he comes.
Let's go. Hello?
5, 4, 3,
clap it up.
2, 1.
Buddy
Hey. Look how happy.
Look how much smaller he is.
He's like, hi.
Hello,
how you
little
doing?
Russian
very
friend.
good. Very good trip. We have fun.
And
Very good. Yeah. You
we'll
beat
go
Hillary.
All right.
Remember you beat Hillary? They said Russian collusion. We don't
All
need
right,
it.
let's do it, boys. Wait for this.
So that's that. Now, while they're walking, what does Trump decide to do? Talk about timing, by the way. This is not easy to time this.
Oh, my God.
Watch what they do. Go ahead, Rob.
3, 2, 1. Cue the bombers.
Oh, my. Oh.
So loud.
He clapped.
It's called peace through strength, Vladimir.
Can we acknowledge how gangster,
It's so gangster.
you're meeting with the world's largest nuclear power, and by the way, he claps and then he leans in and goes, "You're good." How gangster
Why-
is that?
Did you
Okay,
see the
so-
voiceovers all weekend? It's like, Vlad, I'm just messing with you.
Yeah, he is.
So why do you think he did that?
And I love that you said the CNN automatically had body language experts. I don't care what your profession is with body language. I don't care if you despise Trump. The timing and how gangster is it that you see Putin and the timing of you know what that means? The bomber's like, okay, all right, guys, right now. And the moment that he's about to hit that stage, a B-52 bomber, which can carry nuclear arsenal with 4 fighter jets, Pat, that goes to show him, like, hey, listen, at the end of the day, I'm still the alpha. I'm the boss. Period.
You think that's the reason
Gangster.
why? Any other take than what Vinny said?
I think
Any
it's
different take?
gangster.
No. I don't disagree with it, but Trump understands the moment and he understands trolling, and trolling can be done in so many different ways.
Yeah. So
What'd
okay.
you
So
think?
so that's that part. Now, as they're going about it, they're having their conversations. You know, everything that's going on. You know, different talks. Talks. Rob, do you have any other clips that you want to show with this one here?
There was one. Let me grab it. I
Tom,
believe this is the one that was in your notes.
which one is this one, Rob?
This is the handshake and then a breakdown of the right here.
Yeah, I like this one. Watch this breakdown of this one TikToker. I like the way he broke it down. Watch this.
These moves by Trump during his meeting with Putin in Alaska were pure negotiating genius. Air Force One lands, Trump steps out, walks straight to his spot. Putin's plane lands after, Trump's already there, standing firm. Adjusts his jacket, little wave, a clap or two. But he's not moving an inch. He's making Putin come to him. That's not random, that's strategy. That's you want to talk, you walk to me. Same move he pulled on the Chinese leader before. It's a silent message. I'm in charge here. And when Putin finally reaches him, Trump goes for the handshake and pulls him in. The handshake mind games are next level, psychotic in the most calculated way. He exudes power. That's a real president. Then, the ultimate move. B-2 stealth bombers cutting through the sky. This isn't just a military show, it's a statement. Fly the most advanced bomber in the world over your rival's head during a handshake. Putin even glances up at it. Trump doesn't, because he already knows it's there.
Oh my
That's confidence.
God!
That's control. That's the art of the deal. Live and unfiltered. Whether you love him or hate him, this was pure showmanship from a master negotiator. And in that moment, everyone watching knew exactly who was in charge.
Jake just messaged me too. He leans in and actually says, "That's for you." Like as a gift. That's so funny.
So Tom, what got accomplished with this meeting?
So what got accomplished at this meeting is the two largest superpowers came together on U.S. soil, not at The Hague, not overseas, not in Minsk, where the Germans got together a couple years ago with him, not any of that. On our soil, says the Alpha got together with him, And there's a lot of things that Putin wants. This wasn't just about Ukraine. There were some other things that were Witkoff was talking about that were discussed. And I think what got accomplished is that the world knows the path to peace in the Ukraine goes through Donald Trump. And whether it's on his desk with the documents or it's the aid that he's pushing back, that's what got accomplished. Everybody in the world, including other world leaders, knows. Remember, Europe was trying. Remember when they had the Zelensky incident in the Oval Office? Pat, you remember what happened the next week? Zelensky went on tour of Europe and they all hugged him one at a time and offered him aid. But turns out the UK aid turned out to be debt against the Ukrainian citizens. Remember all that?
Yeah.
Well, this is Trump. What it got accomplished is Trump has reset the narrative of negotiations on the Russia-Ukraine peace treaty, and it needs to be a peace treaty, not a ceasefire.
Rob, can you do me a favor? The one thing, if I'm Trump, one of the biggest outcomes, I believe for him, top 5, it could have been top 3 on his list, my opinion, is for Putin to say the war would have never happened if Trump was president. You have to know that was on top of Trump's list of a thing that he wanted Putin to say, because it was a statement for Putin to validate what Trump kept saying during the election and the debate. If I was the president, the war would have never happened. Everybody's like, who the hell you think you are and all this other stuff? And guess what the guy who started the war just said? Here's what he had to say. Go ahead, Rob.
I'd like to remind you that in 2022, during the last contact with the previous administration, I tried to convince my previous American colleague that the situation should not be brought to the point of no return when it would come to hostilities. And I said it quite directly back then that it's a big mistake. Today, when President Trump is saying that if he was the president back then, there will be no war. And I'm quite sure that it would indeed be so. I can confirm that. I think that overall, me and President Trump have built a very good, business-like and trustworthy contact. And I have every reason to believe that moving down this path, we can come, and the sooner the better, to the end of the conflict in Ukraine.
Okay, so for Putin to say if Trump was the president, war wouldn't have happened, that's like a slap in the face for the Democratic Party. It's not just Biden, it's the entire Democratic Party. And so as we're going through this, and Adam, I'm going to come to you next, when you see something like this happening, okay, Putin says what he says, okay, they meet, Trump does the showmanship, conversations are being had. There's a lot of messages that nothing happened, this was a waste of time. You know, a lot of liberal media are saying all this stuff. There was even a moment where Rubio goes on Kristen Welker, I don't know which one it is. We'll show that here in a minute, but there's a lot of stuff that was said. Where are you at with this? What do you think was accomplished with this meeting?
So, you know, you guys were talking about you went to see a movie this weekend?
I went to see a movie this weekend.
Okay, gotcha. I never see movies, but this is very reminiscent of a mafia movie. And it's almost like The Godfather. You got Don Trumpino out here. He's the mafia boss of America. You got Putin. He's the mafia boss of Russia. And then you have Zelensky. He's just sort of low-level street boss that's caught up in the middle of this, almost like a pawn, and he's begging for protection. You got the EU and NATO, they're their own sort of bosses on their end, and they're basically not wanting to send their sons to war, so they're sending money and they're sending military equipment, and they're selling weapons. And at the end of the day, this is a turf war. Trump understands what he's looking for. Trump wants to get a deal done. Why does Trump want to get a deal done? Trump could care less what's going on in Ukraine and Russia. Trump wants to pivot to China. China is the big boss. I know you mentioned the two global superpowers. I assume you meant by nuclear or weaponry superpowers. But China is where basically U.S. wants to pivot. The sooner that we can get this deal done in Russia, the sooner we can figure this out, the sooner we can pivot to the big issue of our time, which is China. So we'll see how long this takes. I said on the last show, there's a 99% chance nothing comes from this. I think Zelensky's going to come to the office,
today,
this week in a suit? Is it today?
It's today. They're driving.
So he's bringing his whole crew there, you know, UK, France, Germany. He's even bringing the one NATO leader who called Trump daddy. So Don Trumpino The end-all, be-all mafia boss is calling all the cards here, and we'll see what happens.
I agree with what you say about China, but let me check you a little bit. 99% chance that nothing happens
from that meeting.
Before they ever walked in, it reset the global order of who's the alpha and the framework. And then the speech at the podium validates a fabrication and a false, not a fabrication, but a falsehood that the U.S. mainstream media was repeating almost like a synchronized chorus.
So
before we even get to the negotiating table and before Zelensky ever steps foot into Washington, where you have all the folks of Europe, 99% chance nothing happened of it. I see a lot as already. So what do you mean by
what
that?
you're talking about is rhetoric and marketing and bravado. Is the war still going on in Ukraine?
At the moment.
Yeah, exactly. So meaning nothing has changed. The whole goal of this meeting is to create a ceasefire.
Wait,
there's been no
Are you
ceasefire.
saying
What, are they going to sign it as you walk off the plane?
No progress has been made.
That's not what I said. I said progress in regards to war. The whole goal.
So progress in regards to okay. So
of course.
By the way, just this morning, Russia attacked a Ukrainian apartment, if I'm not mistaken, and a few people were killed. Rob, can you look this up to verify that? Because I saw that in the news early this morning with this going on. Vinny, what are you thinking of what he's saying?
Yeah,
that's the one. Russia drone strike in Ukraine just this morning.
Killed several before the Trump.
So it's just like right.
Well, they did the same thing. They did
so
right
Russia
before
launched 140 drones into Ukraine overnight. So
they did after the meeting with Trump. Meaning, thanks for the meeting. Thanks for the publicity.
Zelensky did the same thing, guys. Because at the end of the day, you're right. It's war, but this is going to come down to Zelensky and the people in his ear going, because guys, it's all about the money. You say follow the money, it's all the defense contractors, it's all, he's going to be begging for money. And I don't care if he's wearing a suit, if he has that attitude, it's not going to work. But what pisses me off, Pat, is the left. Everybody on the left is just, it's almost as if they hope it all goes down. Brian Krasenstein, that really big, tough, muscular Krasenstein, who had his shirt off in the beach this weekend, he went online and said this, Pat, he said they should have snipers in Anchorage, Alaska, ready to take him down as soon as he shrugged. And look what he write at the bottom. Correction, we should poison him instead. What type of okay, I get it, he's doing it for the clicks, but what type of
first of all, I don't know, isn't that
that's illegal. Did you know?
Isn't that illegal? That's a death threat.
Guess what? Under U.S. law, it's illegal to publicly call for the assassination of a foreign leader. The Secret Service and FBI treat those kinds of statements seriously because it could create diplomatic problems. And I get you want to be clicksy, you want to be that guy, but Pat, if you think about it, with that attitude, and this is the left, God forbid they shoot and they hit Putin. What happens? What happens if Putin gets shot and killed? It's over. It's World War III. So I'm getting sick. I hate this is the attitude of the left. They can't even admit that we're trying.
This is let's move on from this one. Brian, if you're watching this, I'm going to be very fair with you. Yeah. So this is, you can hate Trump and say all that stuff.
That's not good.
This is irresponsible to make a comment like this. There's a lot of things that's going on right now in the marketplace. Tomorrow night, the 19th, Tuesday night, the 19th at 6 p.m., free webinar, 20 threats, 20 business threats you cannot ignore in 2025. We do this every year, and it's a new one every single year that we go through. I highly, highly recommend, if you're somebody that runs a small business, you're an executive with a company, or somebody that's an entrepreneur, you're running a business, you're planning on doing something for yourself, whatever you do, do not miss tomorrow night's webinar at 6 p.m., August 19th. Again, 6 p.m., everybody at the end gets the white paper of the 20 threats. Everybody gets the white paper of the 20 threats and a couple other items that we'll be discussing on that. Rob, the link for it is vtwebinar.com. Go to vtwebinar.com to register for the webinar. Again, vtwebinar.com. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.